Hi there. I am Jennifer Elizabeth Masters. I'm a soul sculptor. I help you break the mold of past trauma and heartbreak so that you can have the amazing life, business, and relationship of your dreams. And I am starting a new series beginning today on love and beloved. And this series is going to be diving deeply into the core of relationships, why we have them, what kind of relationships we have, and why you want to be coupled. So I will be talking about all of those things in this series. And I'm going through Valentine's Day because, this is the season of love. And, if you are anything like me, I, in the past, have struggled with relationships, and the biggest issue that we all have is that, especially with women have a tendency, it is innate, it is within our physical, emotional, and our literal makeup, is that we as women want to fix. It is a thing that we have to set aside and not do because nobody needs fixing, right? And the most important relationship that we have in this life is with whom? Do you know? The very most important. You could say it's with God, but it is with us. The most important relationship is with us. And if the foundation for the relationship that we have with us is skewed or isn't healthy or is codependent or needy or can't process emotions or is angry or bitchy or nagging and beats ourselves up, if we don't love ourselves, we can't receive love from another person. And so the first relationship is the one that we have with us. And I thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. The better that we feel about ourselves, the more accepting that we are of us, the less judgment we have of others. The more critical we are of ourselves, the more critical we are of others. And so, over time, as we grow and we mature and we become emotionally available, hello, John. As we become emotionally available to ourselves, that we're not abandoning ourselves anymore, then we're more available in a relationship. We stop hiding the truth of who we are. We stop pretending to be something we're not. And, that is something that we often do early on in a relationship. We so badly want to be loved, especially if we don't love and accept ourselves, then we're looking for the other person to do all these things for us. And we expect way too much from the other when we have to fill our cup first. When we come to the relationship already full, already feeling complete, already feeling loved, then the relationship becomes the icing on the cake. And wouldn't that be wonderful? So in this series, I invite you to send me an email if you have a question, something you want answered, an issue that you're dealing with, so that you can send it privately. It doesn't have to be public. My email address is jenniferelizabethmasters@gmail.com. If you private message me, it is unlikely that I will see it, but email I absolutely do, and I do see all my emails and I will respond. So this next couple of weeks through Valentine's Day, we are diving deeply into the idea and what is love, what is a good relationship, how do you have a healthy relationship, and how do we sabotage ourselves? So today what I want to talk to you about is the three main ingredients of a loving relationship is, number one, loving ourselves, being happy with who we are, accepting the other person as they are instead of trying to fix them or make them better or help them. And you see, I'm saying these words with sort of an element of, jocularity, because we all do this. We have done it. We may not be doing it right now, but criticizing another is not helpful. And so that's number one. Nagging isn't helpful. Why use this scrub brush, not that sponge? When we tell a person we're trying to control them, then that is coming from fear. All right, so cornerstone, the foundation of a relationship, the foundation needs to be set solidly on good, healthy self-esteem, where we lovingly accept ourselves. We're not going to be perfect necessarily. Some may be more perfect than others, but when we accept ourselves with all our flaws and foibles, with the warts and the worries, whatever it is that we are, when we accept ourselves, that is the number one component to a healthy relationship. Because when we accept ourselves, we're less likely to be judgmental and critical of the other. And so that's number one. Number two, the only person we can control is who? We may want to control the other. We may tell them stop snoring, but we can't make them stop snoring. And so that's the thing. We cannot control another person. And then the third thing is knowing what you desire. And as a manifestation teacher, this is really important, because if you don't know yourself and know what you need, for example, I'll just give you a little, for instance, I need a slow start to my day. I like to drink my coffee. I like to have quiet time. I meditate. I might write in my journal. That is my creative time. So if somebody is wanting to have a deep conversation, that for me is not the time to do it. I know myself well enough to know that's not the best time for me. So I'm at my best when I've had that time, and then I can come to you giving you my full attention. And the other thing that I will say is, relationships are the key component to a happy life. When we have a good relationship with ourselves, when we lovingly accept ourselves, our relationships with our coworkers, with our children, with our neighbors, with our parents, with our siblings is better. And so when the relationship with that's the foundation. Remember, I talked about the solid foundation. When you know who you are and you lovingly accept yourself no matter what, you are well on your way to having a better relationship with someone else. So we're going to talk about intimacy, we're going to talk about sex, we're going to talk about what women want and expect in a relationship, and it's pretty hefty, and then what men want and expect in a relationship. And then we're going to talk about the love-hate thing, because when we've had a bad relationship, we may be thinking, oh, I want a relationship, but we actually hate the other sex because of what's happened in the past. And so here we are up to 5. There's forgiveness. We have to let go of what happened in the past, release it completely, forgive our past partners. Otherwise, we're dragging all that baggage, and we could call it the pile of poop. We're dragging that big pile of poop with us into the next relationship, because we're still talking about the ex. We're going to talk about dating sites and how to write a profile. We're going to talk about how to go into the dating process with joy, with a sense of humor, with a positive attitude. Because if we go into dating with a crappy attitude, how do you think the outcome is going to be? We may give up very quickly. We may decide this isn't for me. But what I will tell you right now about dating sites, it will open up the smorgasbord of all the opportunities out there, and there are so many. Local, further afield. You can, you know, what is that? The comedian dating Jewish in my zip code. You can put in, I want somebody Jewish in my zip code, and find them today. I mean, it is amazing. There's so many different dating sites. We will talk about how to go about the dating process, how to do it with grace, with humor, and a positive attitude. All right, so yes, the sex thing is important, and that's the other thing I'll talk about. We will be talking about, if you want a relationship, you must, unless it's agreed upon up front, that sex is part of it. And if I know lots of women after menopause, they go, oh, I'm done with that, but they still want the relationship. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. I just had a date with somebody on Saturday night that was almost 70, and sex is definitely a part of what he would like in the future. So here's the thing, it doesn't matter how old we are, that closeness, that snuggling, that cuddling, that making love piece is part of a loving relationship until the point where the two parties cannot, but you can still touch. And the thing about a sexless marriage is, and because I counsel people about it, is that if there's no sex happening, typically there's a problem, and one of the parties doesn't like intimacy. They may never have bonded with their mother, and they may never have overcome that. And so that's a thing. It has to be dealt with. We need to look at that with honesty, love, and compassion. Okay, so this is a series that I am very excited about, and I invite you to leave comments below and ask questions. Send me an email at jenniferelizabethmasters@gmail.com. What is your particular issue that you're struggling with? Is it intimacy? Is it communication? Is it problem solving? Is it conflict resolution? Is it, geez, I don't know how to get over the fact that he cheated? We'll talk about all of these things, because just because someone cheats does not mean that you have to end the relationship. Of course, it takes a very big person to forgive, but I will also tell you, no matter whether you end the relationship or you don't, you need to forgive. Otherwise, you're going to end up with deep grief in your lungs, excuse me, and possibly, and I've seen it happen, lung cancer, because holding on to these old emotions is not healthy. We are meant to let them all go and forgive. And the first person we forgive is ourselves. So the better that we have a relationship with ourselves, this is the cornerstone for everything else in our life. The happier we are with us, the happier we are in our relationships. So I invite you to join me every day this week and next week, and we'll be talking about kissing frogs and princesses and all that goes with it. So I am very excited about this, and thank you so much for joining me. Mwah! I love you, and have a beautiful rest of your day.